Howdy, Savage Worlds fans. Welcome to our live Q&A about the next two amazing live events that you guys can come and play Savage Worlds and Doomtown with us in person. We are, 6 weeks out from Deadwood and about 6 months out from the Savage Cruise. So we've got some of our organizers here to help out. The Laps are the wonderful people behind Doomtown, and they've got some exciting announcements and fun stuff that's coming to our Deadwood event, and I think they'll be joining us on the cruise as well. So you're going to be able to get a double dose of Doomtown at our events. We've got Kim, who looks like a pit of vortex of blackness right now, but that's because she's in Hawaii, and we don't want to give you too much of a spoiler on what living in paradise looks like. We want you to be hungry for it, and so you can hear Kim, but you cannot see Kim. Kim might not exist. That's Kim Maida-Smith. She is our travel agent, and she's the one who will help you get booked on the cruise. And then we've got Savage Mommy, founder of the Rocky Mountain Savages, the seed for these fun, wonderful events. And we also have Dustin Hatchett, who's also been working diligently with the official Savage Worlds events, and is going to be a major help for our Deadlands event. And he actually was on the Savage Cruise last year as well, so we can be able to answer some questions on what it's like to be a cruiser. And then me, Landauer, repping my Rocky Mountain Savages gear. And so yeah, guys, pop your questions, comments, whatever into the chat, and we will get to those as we move along. But the first and foremost, because Kim's got to get back to the beach, we're going to talk all things Savage Cruise. So, Kim, how many Savages are we up to on the Savage Cruise?
Right now, we are hovering at about 120. We've been at 120 for a little while. That seems to be our magic number, and people kind of come and go. But it seems to always hover right there. So right now, we're doing great. We've got, for those of you who were on last year's expedition, we had a little problem with getting our dining time. This year, we do not have that issue. Everybody is currently scheduled for the early dining time, and I'm not getting any indication at this time from the cruise line that dining time is being waitlisted at all.
So yeah. Last year we had some fun because you guys might have seen the meme or the viral video of the cruise ship that got rear-ended in port and the whole back of it ripped off. We were on that ship, not while it was getting rear-ended, but that was the Carnival Glory, and we sailed on it after they started the repairs. But because of the damage done to the back, that was like a dining room that had the windows kind of broken out of it, and because of that, they lost a bunch of their dining room space. And the important part for the cruise, obviously, is because we're a big group and we want to get our nighttime gaming slot in, we need to have early dining. So it's like us and then all the gray hairs who were like, let's get dinner early. So we kind of need that early dining, because if you do late dining, you kind of end up, you really can't have a really good 3 or 4 hour or more game slot after dinner. And so we need early dining. So last year it was a bit of fun getting, we actually ended up, the solution was we got served our dinners in our game room. So they brought the dinner to us, which is actually pretty amazing. But this year we are on a different ship. We're on the Carnival Magic.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. And it should be a lot of fun. So let's see. Let's do the rundown. Let me pop up. Let's see if I can't do this. If I can share the screen. So if you guys want to join us, the first step you got to do is gameradventures.com. So gameradventures.com, and I'll show you what this website looks like. It's pretty easy to get around, but let me just share. Boom. So this is what the sign-up form looks like on Gamer Adventures. The Savage Worlds Cruise 2022. We're taking off January 3rd is when the boat leaves, and it comes back. It's a Monday, and it comes back Sunday, January 9th. But we are probably heading down a couple days early, some of us, so you're welcome to join us then, to Orlando to ring in the New Year. So what could be more fun than celebrating New Year's in a wonderful place like Orlando? That's kind of giving us some time to check out the amazing things to see there. There's Disney, there's Universal Studios, there's a bunch of theme parks. You can go to Gatorland, and there's also Port Canaveral, which is where they launch rockets and space stuff from. So one of the cool things we're looking to do is hopefully we're going to get this done on the way to the airport or on the way to the boat on that Monday. We're looking to put together a little bit of a tour. It would be a little bit of more of an expense, but if you guys want to get on the bus, we'll be able to go from our hotel to Port Canaveral and do a tour of the Space Center, and then go from there directly to the boat. So that kind of handles anybody's, how do I get to the boat from the hotel? We could do a little mini tour.
Yeah.
It sounds awesome.
Yeah, so that's one of the things we're working on, because like Chris was saying, it's like, you want to be there for New Year's, that's awesome. But even if you don't, we always want to make sure that we advise people to come in or fly into Orlando, that is your airport, fly into Orlando at least the day before. And, you can come in the morning, but, if your flight gets delayed, if your luggage gets lost, if all of that stuff happens, at least coming in the day before gives you a really good amount of time to take care of, what you need to. If anything goes wrong whatsoever, you have time to get it. If you forgot a prescription, you can go get it filled. You can do all of these things without, freaking out that you've got exactly a half hour, but in regards to that, people who are arriving on the 30th or the 31st will have a ton of stuff that you can do. Right now, I'm working with 2 different hotels, and I'll see which one gives me the better price. But they've got free shuttles to Disney World, to Universal, and to SeaWorld. So those are going to be free shuttles from our hotel if you get there any earlier. The other thing that I'm thinking of doing is on Sunday night. I don't know if any of you have ever had this experience, but there is a restaurant, medieval type of restaurant, that's called Medieval Times. And Medieval Times is a gas. It really is a lot of fun. You have to cheer on your knights, and you have to do all of those things. So the dinner the night before the cruise, we're thinking of making the excursion, of course, from our hotel to Medieval Times and then back to the hotel. So we all have dinner the night before. We can do Cape Canaveral, the next day, or the Kennedy Space Center the next day, and then get on the ship. But that's just if you could arrive a day early. So we've got obviously a jam-packed availability for anything that you may want to do. So we're looking forward to it.
So to let you guys know, you've never been on a cruise before. The way cruises work is prices for cruises are per person, but they assume that there will be at least 2 people in the room you're going to be in. So if you are coming solo, join us on our Facebook group. We have a Savage Expeditions Savage Cruise Facebook group, and we'll try to help find you a roommate so you guys can pair up. And so for the Savage Expeditions 2022, which is going off in January, so it's right at the beginning of 2022, the prices per person, our interior rooms are $775. The ocean views start at $865. Balconies start at $1040. And then suites, you got to call for quotes. If you come to gameradventures.com, you will be able to get Kim's information, be able to contact her. So this is what's included. Basically, everything is your accommodation, so your berth in your room, all your shipboard meals are included in that, and the entertainment on board ship. Our private gaming room is included in that. We're going to have a cocktail party, which is fun. The adventure passport, which is kind of like your convention badge, is included in that, and taxes and port fees. So the one thing that's not included that's a lot of people do like to do is your gratuities. And so you have the option of prepaying your gratuities, and we can't roll that into the price just because of cruise and travel logistic laws. That's the one additional expense, and I think that's less than $100 per person kind of deal.
And don't forget excursions.
True, yes. There
are an additional expense.
Absolutely. So the other ways to add money on this is your excursions on ship. When we go, so let's tell you where we're going, because that's kind of the fun of it. We're hitting up 3 great locations. We get on the boat on a Monday, so we sail Monday afternoon through Monday night. Tuesday is all gaming at sea, so we got a lot of games packed in for Tuesday. Wednesday, we're going to hop off the boat and enjoy Cozumel, Mexico. We did hit up Cozumel on the last Savage cruise, and it's a great destination, a lot of fun. And then Thursday, this is new for us, we're getting all the way down to Belize. which is a super exciting location with a lot of really exotic excursions. And so there's stuff to do in Belize, like there's underwater cenote cave expeditions, underwater river rafting, there's adventure parks, zip lining. So those are all additional expense that you pay through the cruise per person for what you kind of want to do. So things we did, like, what did you do on the last cruise, Dustin and Fox? What expeditions did you guys do last year?
Go ahead, Dustin, and then I'll go.
Sure. Probably one of the most enjoyable times that we had was on the Cayman Islands. They have an incredible bus that's a public bus that just gets you, and you could just beach hop, right? And then we did the same thing in Cozumel. We went on one of the excursions that got us to one of the little resorts, and we got our little cabana, and we were right on the beach, and we had amazing food. So yeah, we just bum around beaches, and then, you know, whether it's public transportation or it's you know, an actual excursion, it's so easy. You're like, you get off the boat and your feet are in water within 20 to 30 minutes all the time. It's fantastic.
Yeah, and so you don't have to pay for the organized excursions if you just want to get off the boat or even stay on it. But some people stay on the boat for some reason. A lot of times you'll find that there are people who cruise kind of as a retirement lifestyle. They just stay on cruise ships and enjoy it. So if they've been to port 4 or 5 times, sometimes they'll just stay on the boat and enjoy the entertainment and food that's still on the boat. But all of us, I think most of us got off. But you don't have to pay for the excursions. You know, they're totally optional. You can go and explore these places all on your own. You just got to make sure that you get back to the port in time to hop on the ship, because the ship will leave without you.
That's important. Yeah. So let's see. Jamaica, we did kind of a jungle tour and drank lots of rum punch. Landauer and I swam with stingrays.
That was awesome.
Which
That was really
phenomenal.
Cool.
And then in Cozumel, we did the Excursions Adventure Park, which was fun. I ziplined. I never have to do it again.
The super wedgie, like,
yep.
That's the problem with those zip line things. They're not designed for people who weigh as much as I do, and it's like the amount of pressure kind of on your leg area. Let's put it that way, is a little intense.
Say the amount of climbing to the different zip lines, I thought I was going to die.
No. So there's definitely, like, you can definitely gauge your level of adventure you want. So I did like the stingray one in Cozumel. I did the swim with the dolphins. And this one was actually really cool. It was like they did a little like an executive brunch kind of thing, and then we get to do a private dolphin swim. And then for Jamaica, I just did the tour where they took us around on a bus, and it was kind of like the knick-knack shops, and you got to see some of the areas around Jamaica. So because cruises are very open to elderly, people with children, couples, they have a real good menu of kind of excursions that you can go on, and they're all different prices. Some of them will last all day. Like when we go to Cozumel, this cruise qualifies for Cozumel Plus, which means we get in really early in the morning and we don't leave until late at night. So you can do some of the more big adventures. Like I think in Cozumel, one of the all-day excursions is going to Chichen Itza, because it's kind of inland. So when we stop at Cozumel, you're kind of at this little island, and if you want to do Chichen Itza, although if you want to do the pyramids and you want to do kind of the ancient architecture tour, there are other options in both Costa Maya and Belize. So you don't have to do Chichen Itza. Is not the only way to climb some pyramids, but that's one of the ones that kind of takes all day, because they ferry you from the boat from the island to the mainland. And then you go from the mainland on a big bus tour all the way out to Chichen Itza. So there's a bunch of things you can do. It's a whole lot of fun. Those are all optional and extra. And once you guys get booked, you can kind of open those up and see what they are on the Carnival website. So, Kim, how do people sign up?
For excursions?
For the whole cruise.
Oh, for the whole cruise, you just go to my website, which is gameradventures.com. And down towards the bottom, you were scrolling down. It's on the front page and also on this page. It's just basically get started. You want your online submission form. And if you click on that, it's going to take you to a form that you can populate it, and it'll go straight to my email. And it's all secure. And then I'll get you on the ship and send you a confirmation that you've done that. The one thing that I did want to talk to people about in regards to the prices of the cruise, as a travel agent, I have to hold so many cabins on a cruise ship, right? And I have an opportunity to hold different kinds of cabins. And so the most popular, of course, are always the interior, the ocean view, and the balcony. I want to let people know that the prices that are on the flyer are for your basic interior, your basic ocean view, and your basic balcony. If you want to do something that's a little bit above that, say, and I'm not talking suite, but I'm saying there's like several different categories of balcony, interior, and ocean view. If you want to go a little bit higher, you want to be higher on the boat, you want a particular room, you want all of that, it might be a little bit different in price. Normally, it doesn't go more than like $30, $40 a person. Okay, so that's your basic price. It can go up a little bit. If you want to go into some of the different places where they're exclusive, like for example, the spa balcony, which also gives you a little bit more access to the spa, and it has some certain rules and regulations and all of those things. That of course is higher too. But I just wanted to make sure that people understood that those prices are basic, interior, ocean view, and balcony. The other thing that I wanted to tell you in regards to your excursions, one of the excursions that you can buy, it is not available at this time, but one of the excursions that you can buy is what is called Faster to the Fun. Okay, Faster to the Fun means that one person in your cabin, they don't charge everybody, but at least one person in your cabin has to pay, I believe it's $69 or something very close to that. And then what happens is you get priority boarding, priority disembarking, priorities getting in and off the ship for excursions. And for the people who have done that in the past, they swear by it because you're avoiding a whole bunch of lines, you're doing a whole bunch of stuff of that nature. So that's one of the excursions that's very popular. I am taking names of the cruisers who want that, and I have a list of people that at the moment it becomes available, I shall be melting your credit cards. So just know that. Because I want to make sure that there is, of course, they cannot offer that to everybody on the ship, or it's not anything, there's no reason to buy it, right? If everybody's in the same line, there's no reason that you're faster about anything. So it's a limited amount of things. So I'm keeping an eye on exactly when this thing is coming up, and when it does, I'm gonna get everybody who said they wanted it. I will be purchasing it for them and then sending them a confirmation.
Yeah, so Jody is super excited about Faster the Fun. So she's like, I'm going to be first in line. I want it now. And
yeah, I already put my name in.
All right, so that's a good thing. And then Fat Steve is our official, Steve Kellison, he is our official Savage Cruise ambassador. And he's the one who kind of got this idea started with us a couple years back going, guys, we should do Savage Cruise. So one thing to also mention is that the 2 additional expenses that you guys might consider, there are cola drink packages that you can buy for the whole trip if you want some of the colas. And then there are also alcohol packages. So if you don't want to spend per drink on your trip, you can actually buy like an all-in booze package. And I've never gotten that. I've only noticed though that the people who did have it were trying hard to get their money's worth. So
and then you have to drink a lot when you get that.
Yeah, and then the alcohol package does include the cola and energy drinks too.
So commit to like 5 or 6 drinks a day. So if you're the guy that starts out with the mimosas and the Bloody Marys and ends up with the martinis and the port, you're in. But, if you're a person who just wants a couple glasses of wine or a cocktail and a glass of wine at dinner, not for you.
Exactly. Hey, Kim, we got a pretty good question from Vampire 54. Any tips for getting flights? Obviously depends on where you're coming from, but any word on what COVID is doing to flights? When are good times to start checking? We're 6 months out now. When should people start booking that?
I think that you should keep an eye on it. Most flights, just so you know, travel agent wisdom here, flights will change every Tuesday. So if you're the same flight on Tuesday may not be the same flight on Wednesday. The closer you get to the cruise, first of all, the further away and the closer you get, you're going to get a higher price. Okay, because the airlines don't know really how to book that, whether or not they're going to need all of that, whether they're not going to cancel planes so that they can book two planes together, or combine flights. So I'm going to say that if you start looking, this is in January, if you start looking in October, you should have a really good idea of what flights are going to be.
Yeah, and the different airlines, like you got Southwest with their "Wanna Get Away" stuff, but then you've got United that does certain things with bags, and airplane flights. My wife and I, 3 months out from the last cruise, the range of costs and options and everything was everything. It was pretty wild,
right.
So. Yeah, waiting until about 3 months out gives you the full banquet of exactly how do you want to get there.
Right. And then the other thing, too, is that we do have quite a few people that are coming from some places. Like, for example, coming out of Arizona and stuff like that, there's quite a few people that are flying. So I am looking into, see if there's any advantage to doing a group flight or group flights for people. But you have to have 10 or more from one of them. That's one of the reasons why on the survey that I put out, I put your preferred airport and then your secondary airport where you're flying out of. So, like, for example,
so Orlando is not an answer to that.
That's correct.
There's like
Orlando
3 airports.
We're all going to Orlando, y'all.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, I'll give you an example. Say you live in Portland. Well, your primary airport is going to be Portland, right? Your secondary is probably going to be Seattle. And I might have another 8 people coming out of Seattle. So is it worth it to you to drive the hour and a half or hour to get to Seattle to get a lower airfare or to fly with everybody else? So those are the things that we're going to be putting out a little bit later. And so you'll be able to see that. So yeah, so I'm really looking forward to getting these hotels buttoned down and some of the stuff that's happening before. Excursion-wise, I will be doing some. I'm going to be sending out another survey in regards to things that people would want to do in Orlando and on the ship. Like if you're a big beach person, if you're a wildlife person, if you're a jungle cruiser, that type of thing, so that I can get an idea of if I can get group rates for anybody. So,
or you're a Harry Potter person, or a Disney person, or a Star Wars person. So
one of the questions that I had,
so it's going to be a lot of fun. It's I got to tell you, it's a little bit crazy, with 120 clients. So everybody has a different question and a different idea of what they want in the price range. But at the same time, I think that we're really going to have a blast this time. And you can't go wrong. Just like last year, you can't go wrong leaving from New Orleans, and you can't go wrong leaving from Orlando either. So
the question that I wanted to bring up to everyone is Saturday the 1st is, of course, New Year's. So Friday the 31st, are we going to try to do something?
I can't hear you very well. I'm sorry, hon.
Oh, is it maybe my volume? Let's see.
Yeah, you're a little low.
Okay. Let me see if I just get a little closer. How about that?
There you go.
There we go. So as far as on Saturday the 1st and then, of course, Friday the 31st, are we trying to hatch plans? And I'm just throwing this out there while we're all talking and we got comments going. What are we thinking of for New Year's? Is it a party in a hotel? Is it hanging out somewhere cool? What are we going to do that Friday night?
Yeah, I think we should see. I mean, are the big like Universal and Disney, are they open on New Year's evening? Like, do they have?
Yes.
I'm going to probably drink heavily.
But then again, we don't know. I'm going to assume that everybody has the same idea who lives in Orlando. They're going to go to one of these parks for the thing. So, I mean, we're going to have to see COVID-wise if they're going to allow full capacity in those parks at this time. If they are, you probably won't find out until December. But, that's something that we can keep in mind and budget for if you can assume how much
Well,
that is. I mean,
and if we get a nice hotel that has a little bit of a decent bar, hey, that's a party in itself right there.
that's true. That's
Mhm.
Yeah, no. So obviously, because we have some time to plan this out, I mean, we are 6 months out, but we do want to get you guys signed up and on our list so we can start having these conversations of like, hey, where are people staying? Do you guys want to plan something for New Year's? We do have a lot of people who are planning on getting there that weekend before. Because the cruise leaves on a Monday, gets back on a Sunday. So if you are on a tight schedule, you can get in and out just a week off of work, and it is right near New Year's. And I think most people are commenting or saying that they're planning on coming down a couple days early. Yep. So we'll be down there, and we'll be planning on doing something fun just for folks to hang out, whether it's a planned trip or whether our hotel is really awesome and we can get a little fun going on there. But we're definitely going to be doing something for that. Awesome Tiger, we have over 120 cruisers so far on the cruise. That's I think we were at 100 last year, so we already have 20% larger. And I believe
only 85 last year.
85?
We are even more.
So yeah, we've got a party at Carl's house. Yeah, we could all go crash Carl Kieser's place. We'll let him know. Hey, Carl, pull out some pull out the couch bed. We're all gonna crash Carl's place. And so for those of you guys actually asking for the Q&A, so here's another link I want to share with you guys for all the questions that we have easy answers for. So on Pinnacle's website, we have a Q&A, and the address is already in the comments, but it's pegging.com/savage-worlds-cruise-2022 FAQ. But yeah, the FAQ here basically is all the information you need. Explains where you sign up. You sign up by contacting Kim at Gamer Adventures, so it's got her email and phone number there. Kim is in Hawaii, so don't call too early because Hawaii is it like 3 hours behind California?
Correct.
3 hours. So yeah, 3 hours behind California, 7 hours earlier than New York. But yeah, so our itinerary, we're on the boat from January 3rd through the 9th. We're going to hit up Cozumel, Mexico, Belize, and Costa Maya, and with gaming in between. We are going to be in Orlando before New Year's, so that weekend. So do consider coming down early and taking in the wonder that is the super friendly for visitors city of Orlando. Cruising is back live, so we're really not worried too much about COVID restrictions. Cruises are actually sailing now, and we've got 6 months more of coming out of the recovery, so that should be good. We've got prices. Again, prices are per person. Your adventure passport's included. Taxes, fees, and port expenses are included. Gratuities are the one thing that's not included.
One thing on the adventure passport, please let know that the price is included in the quote, but it's going to be billed separately. So you're going to get that eventually.
Yeah. So your adventure passport will be a separate line item from Kim, so it won't show up on your Carnival bill. But again, these are the prices we're advertising. Everything that's covered, from the cocktail party to the gaming space to the swag, all that kind of stuff. We've got that listed on the website. Other things you might consider, and travel insurance, just in case you're iffy on, if you might have a reason or suspicion on like, hey, I've got a sick family member or whatever. Travel insurance is something cool to pick up, just kind of cover, in case something goes wrong and you can't make your trip or those kind of things. So you can talk to Kim about what travel insurance is and what it covers. Right. We're not worried about how you get to Orlando. Come any way you want. You can drive, you can fly. So we're not pre-booking anything for how do you get to and from Orlando. That's all on you guys. And again, other things that are optional. Fine dining. That's one thing that's really cool. So we had some fun. The fine dining upgrades, the restaurants are really awesome. And this boat has like twice or three times the number of restaurants that the boat we went on last year. So last year, like, there was really some fun stuff that was like you could get food pretty much anytime, whenever you wanted, even between the bigger set piece meals. And there was like a burger bar and a burrito bar and that kind of stuff. This one has like a hibachi place. And so the restaurants on this ship are actually are very plentiful. So this will actually be a fun eating ship. But you have an option for fine dining. So if you want to get dressed a little nicer and have a sit-down meal with, they bring out a box of salts that are like, here's the red Himalayan salt, here's the black volcanic salt, it's really hilarious. But it's really fine dining, and it's really only like $20 to $30 to $40 extra per person for kind of a very high-end meal. So we had fun.
Required.
What's that?
Reservations are required.
Yes, and that's another thing. So once you get booked through Kim and you'll get your reservation email, if you don't already have an account with Carnival, you can open up your Carnival account and you'll have your cruise will be listed, and then you can start looking through your account at what excursions and expeditions you can add to that, and things like fine dining reservations are part of the things you can add to your account.
Hey, Kim, so we did have a question about passports. I know that's come up a couple times.
Actual passports, not the adventure passport, but real passports.
Actually. The interesting thing is that because this cruise leaves from Orlando, which is an American port, you do not need a passport. You will need photo ID and a birth certificate. Okay, so you will have a birth certificate, photo ID. If you do not, I always travel with a passport simply because if something happens in Mexico, I can't fly home without one. Right? So if you have any problems or anything like that, if you have the opportunity to get a passport, I'm of the idea that everybody should have one. You know,
and so if you have,
no, but
if you have the passport, you don't need the birth certificate. Is that correct?
That's correct, because that's proving your citizenship.
Yep.
And they do have a neat thing, too, where they have a passport card, which works for the Caribbean. So you don't need to take the big book with you either. It's an extra little expense, but it comes in so handy to have that passport card. It's just much easier to deal with.
Right, but do read the what it covers and what it doesn't cover, and what you need, you can use it for.
Yeah, the passport card doesn't get you like across major oceans.
Right.
So if you don't have a passport, bring your birth certificate. And here's a really good tip. One, put a password on your phone, but take a picture of your documents.
Right.
We had a fun little incident of someone who they'd shown their passport or their birth certificate to Carnival once, but then between then and getting on the ship, they put it in their luggage, and their luggage made it on the ship, and they needed it for the final check-in. And we ended up, if you had it on their phone, it would have been okay because they could have just checked it that way. So do take a picture of all that stuff just in case it helps you out. We ended up having someone who was on the ship, who was me already, found a bellhop to go find the luggage, which is in front of their room, and then I dug through their luggage to get their birth certificate, and then it was fun. So also while they were calling to have back home in Colorado to have a duplicate. So don't do that.
If you have a second person in your cabin, take a picture of your stuff and text it to the other person as well if you trust them. But that type of thing. So if you lose your phone, at least somebody else has that available.
But that kind of service that Landauer just said is what all of us here, especially talking to you right now, we're going to give you that kind of service on your gaming, making sure you're having a good time, running games, coordinating things. If you have questions during the cruise of like, hey, what time slot is this? In my back pocket, I carried around the schedule with me all the time, and I was whipping that out constantly because it's a lot easier with paper on a cruise ship sometimes than trying to dig around on a website too. So we want to have this be an exciting thing for you all, and that's why we're here facilitating this all, because it is a different experience than any kind of convention. Just the vibe is incredible.
Yeah. And last comment. So if you have kids are absolutely welcome. Kids don't need to purchase our adventure passport. They're welcome to game at our tables at any time. And obviously, kids under 21 can't be a part of the cocktail party, because, no booze. But yeah, kids are absolutely welcome. So the adventure passport, does not apply to them. If you're traveling solo, again, you can join our Savage Expedition, Savage Cruise Facebook group. That's also a good group if you're coming to Deadwood, which we'll get here into in a second. If you're looking to coordinate travel to and from the airport to the Deadwood site, there's a thread that we've got on the Savage Cruise, Savage Expeditions Facebook group, just for people like, hey, I'm traveling solo, or hey, I'm getting into the Rapid City at this hour. Anybody else, want to share a Uber or a taxi or a shuttle? We are 6 months out, but now is a great time to put in your deposit. It's $250 per person, Kim, still deposits?
Yes.
So yeah, all you need is $250 per person for the deposits. There are payment plans available. Kim can work all of that out with you. And then as we get more information on the deadlines from the cruise companies, we'll be announcing those. And so yeah, because this is a just coming out of COVID for this industry, a lot of these things are still not announced. But as soon as we get those dates, we'll send them along to you. So.
Well, and having a travel agent in these times is always going to be easier than trying to do. I mean, Kim is working really hard for us and is going to get all the answers we need instead of having to all go on our own on some of this stuff. So we really appreciate that during these times.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
So yeah, so we're already at 120. I think we have reserved up to maybe 200. That's probably where we're going to cap it if we do get a surge of late folks, just to make sure that we're able to coordinate gaming and all that good stuff for you guys. Someone did ping me on Facebook. I think it was John Goff asking about what is the gaming space like. So last year we had kind of two different places to game. In our reserved gaming space, we've got a conference center this year, so we'll be able to have some of the larger tables, 5 and 6 person player games, should be fine at those. And then for the more casual gaming outside of the night stuff, the cruise was great and allowed us access to some of their dining areas. And those had varied kind of tables. Some of the tables were easily as big as they aren't the kind of rounds we get in hotels, but they're a little more rectangular. But they still seat easily like 5 players in the Game Master. And then some of the tables were a little bit smaller than that. But, in those areas, we were kind of either able to push 2 tables together or make it work out for pretty much any kind of gaming. So the gaming space for us this year should be fantastically private. We'll have an actual conference center designed for conventions on the ship. And then some of the more casual stuff is a little more open. But it's also that we didn't have any problem last year, I don't think, by being in the kind of dining areas during the off times. I think it was kind of fun.
We were up in the barbecue area, so you're smelling the barbecue, looking over the ocean moving while playing 50 Fathoms. That made my trip right there. It was absolutely perfect.
I want to make a comment a little bit on the gaming space in the conference room. We've got our request into that. They won't commit to how many people they will let in the room at this time because of COVID. So but like Chris was saying, there are several places that we can go around. So if we can normally fit 100 people in the conference room and they tell us we can only fit 75, then that's okay because there's obviously going to be enough space somewhere else to be able to do these games. So I don't worry about it, but I don't want to to wig out if we can only put 50 in there instead of 100.
Well, and all of us as coordinators, an hour before each game slot, we're going to make sure you have your butt in a seat to play a game, right? That's our job. And that's why this community never has a problem getting someone a seat at the table to play a game.
Right.
Yeah, and Neil Eichert, Elderworm, comments like that the original room we had set aside last year was pretty small. So we actually ended up not using that room. They gave us a bigger whole bar area. The room this year this is a better class of ship than we were on last year. And we have a legit conference center. So the conference center is easily larger. So let me pull up some photos. It's funny, I want to get the photos and not get the advertisements. But there's like boxer briefs for some reason are on this advertisement. So let me show you
those over in a Google Drive.
Right?
That's live presentation right here. There you go.
So, so here's half the conference center looking from like the dividing wall towards one window, and then here's kind of the whole space. So it's a legit conference center, much larger than the original room we had last time, and a pretty comparable space, if not a little more utilitarian than the bar last year. So this is the kind of the central hub of where we're going to be at, and then and I think it's even been upgraded since then. I think Carnival Magic has had a nice kind of a revamp with some of the better bars, but that's kind of what the space for the gaming is going to look like. So we should be able to fit several full-size tables in there, no problems at all.
Cool.
So Kim, anything else you want people to know?
No, I don't really think I have anything other than I'm working on suggested excursions. I've got a hotel room block. I'm letting 2 different hotels battle it out as far as who gets to have us, and I'm working on some stuff that's happening in Orlando. So I'm busy, but other than that, everything's good. We do have a final payment that's not due till October 5th. So when that starts rolling around, I'll be emailing everybody and probably contacting everybody by phone, just to make sure that I answer all their questions and such before final payment. And then, as a shameless plug, by the way, I do have another cruise group going out on Royal Caribbean to Alaska in June next year. It's not a gaming group, but it doesn't mean you can't game. So if anybody is interested in seeing Alaska, just let me know, and I'll give you some prices and stuff. But this particular cruise that's happening out of Orlando, I'm really excited about it. I think we're going to have a great time, all of us.
Oh yeah, no. The last year was amazing. We kind of thought it was like a once in a lifetime event, and it's like, well, hey, we can do it again. Why not? Especially after the year that 2020 was.
Right.
Yeah, let's enjoy some face-to-face gaming. It was very magical last year. This year is shaping up to be even better. So I just posted a bunch of links in chat. There's a link to the FAQ with all the questions. There's a link to Gamer Adventures where you guys can put down your deposits, and then. With that, we'll get on to Deadwood, which is in just 6 weeks. So thanks for joining us, Kim. Guys,
and feel free to ask me any questions whatsoever at any time. So
yes, thank you very much, Kim.
You're welcome. And I got to get out of here.
Mahalo. Cheers, Kim.
All right. Bye-bye.
Boom. So on to Deadwood. So, Mr. Lapp, you've been quiet, man. Now's your time to shine. So,
I've been mic'd or had the mic off.
Doomtown.
Just check the dates of when your passports expire.
Oh yeah,
that's very important. I almost didn't get to go to Italy because of that.
Yeah, good public safety tip.
So you don't need a passport. Your birth certificate will do, but they are handy. And so yes, you don't need one. But again, I mean, really, who wants to carry a copy of their birth certificate either, right? They're almost equally as obnoxious to carry around. So, yeah, guys, so get your docs. You don't need either to come to Deadwood. So Deadwood, we're teaming up. We're celebrating 25 years of Deadlands, but there's also some really great Doomtown stuff going on. So what are the new things you guys are doing with Doomtown we're going to be celebrating up in Deadwood?
So it's not announced, but we're working on it right now. So it'll be up in like an hour. Deadwood's going to also be a launch party for the new base set.
Oh.
So we're going to launch the Kickstarter that Tuesday. So it gives me a day of doing stuff on that before flying out there. So that way we can celebrate while we're there and talk to everybody about it, talk to the Deadlands fans and everything. So that'll be a good opportunity for people to join right in. So we're going to be bringing the older starter sets that are still compatible and just giving them out to people. So anybody who is at Deadwood, that wants something to get right into the game, will have it, and then we'll still have the expansion. So if people want to save on shipping on the Kickstarter and get some of the stuff right away, we'll have that with us, and then just back it for the base set. So I don't know if Lana, if you can share the screen. I just shot a link in the chat. So people kind of want to get an idea of what the destination event for an Old West town is like. We went out to Tombstone at the end of 2019 on the anniversary of the OK Corral fight. So if you go to pineboxentertainment.com under Doomtown, there's a section there, just kind of talking about the trip. So we do, if you guys saw the schedule, we've got a whole day of the tourism stuff. And then Friday mixed in with the Savage Worlds games, we're going to be doing a Greenhorn event So we're going to kick off with kind of a new player-friendly experience, and we'll have the veteran players on hand too to help out. And then that evening, we've got the Trader event, which is supposed to kind of go with the Jack McCall theme against Wild Bill, where you can take any faction character from any other faction than your own in your deck and start with them as if they were in your posse. So that'll be fun to see, what people come up with for that. And then Saturday will be the main event where we're going to have a night train story where basically the players are going to influence the upcoming fiction of Jonah Essex and his posse navigating through a night train. In the past, we've done kill boards where everyone has voted on characters that die in the story. So this will be like something a little bit different, that we're not just killing people. So
For a change.
yeah, so
People get to live.
yeah. So Saturday night will be O's call out. That's a little more informal. The idea behind that is we want everybody to participate in Savage Saturday Night, even our Doomtown players. But, for those that just want to play Doomtown, because we have some hardcore fans that will just, want to play, we've got that. And then also, if you guys back the Kickstarter, the action deck that Cheyenne Wright did with the different characters in it for the face ones, every game you play, we're going to have promos. So every card that was done in this that's also in Doomtown will have a promo of this art on the Doomtown card. And all you have to do is play games and we'll give them out. So I think if I'm looking at it right, it's Hank Ketchum, Doc, the Black and Red Joker, Wyatt Earp, Morgan Lash, Lacey O'Malley, and Stone and Raven. Which is most the face cards. I think there was only a couple that we actually haven't made a card yet of. So we've got some other stuff. There's an Al Swearingen promo for ability used, which if you guys look at the cover of Welcome to Deadwood, which we'll have there, it's Swearingen's got a knife on the table. So the promo card is like the action of what happens after that, to resemble using the action in his card in the game. He's got a once per game ability. So basically, after you use it, you can switch the card out to show that you've used the ability. We thought that'd be cool to fit in with the Deadwood trip. So there's also a bunch of stuff that everybody gets for swag for. I don't want to spoil that because I don't think we put that list out. But there is a bunch of cool Doomtown stuff that everyone gets for going. So that is pretty much all we're doing. I did not put a Sunday event because we don't know what it looks like for the travel plans for everybody. But obviously, if people are lingering Sunday, we'll still be playing Doomtown. But I know we want to have the main event wrapped up Saturday. So if you do have to leave early Sunday, don't worry about not playing in the main event because we'll be all wrapped up.
Yeah, that's a lot for 4 days, right? I love this new Al Swearingen art. I think it's fantastic. Al Swearingen.
Yeah.
I mean, Ian McShane made that character alive amazingly in the show Deadwood, and so I love that you guys put him on the Welcome to Deadwood cover. That's amazing stuff. But yeah, so we do have a pretty good schedule for you guys. So to let you know about the event, there's a link in the chat for the brochure. I'll run that through you guys real quick right now. But all the stuff on the front page are kind of the highlights that we want you guys to be able to experience while you're there. So obviously we have gaming space all weekend long. So for those of you who are diehard Doomtown or Savage Worlds players and you want to run games even outside of our scheduled slots, that's totally okay. We have 2 ballrooms that are adjoining in the Deadwood Holiday Inn Express. It's kind of where our gaming is going to take place. So this is kind of a schedule that we put together for those of you who kind of want a little more curated experience, just to be like, hey, where are the PEG people hanging out? Where am I going to be? But Deadwood's kind of conceived as an event where you can bring your family up, you can take in all the sights and sounds, either on your own recognizance and join us for the times you want to join us, or you can kind of stay for the stuff we're going to be planning out. But we've got a ghost tour of the Bullock Hotel. We're going to do a really cool candlelight mine tour. You've got Doomtown, beginner, and obviously experienced events all weekend long. Savage Worlds all weekend long. There's a great one of the groups we're working with actually pretty well is there's a series of actors in Deadwood who put on these events where some are free and open to the public and other ones are paid. And they do a reenactment of the murder of Wild Bill in Saloon 10. And so that's one of the free ones. They do it multiple times a day, every day a week. But we're going to try to hit one kind of right between one of our gaming slots. And then if you'd like, you can follow us over to the Trial of Jack McCall. This one's a paid event, and it's limited to 25 because that's how big their theater is. And so after Jack McCall shoots Wild Bill, it kind of flows out into the street. They capture him and they take him off to the trial. And the Trial of Jack McCall is actually one of the longest running stage plays in America, having been run continuously in Deadwood since the 20s. And so you guys are welcome to join us for that. If you can't join us on the night we go, it's also offered in the other nights, but it kind of conflicts with gaming slots. So there's shootouts. The gunslingers have performances where they'll go through like the history of weapons of the area. There's a travel and medicine show. The Wednesday before we kind of kick things off, there's a free concert in the what they call it, Outlaw Square is kind of the big public square. We've got you guys passes to almost all of the museums in town.
And I have to say, the Adams Museum is excellent.
Yeah, we spent like
3 or 4 hours just in that kind of museum.
They even have a dinosaur. It's cool. The Days of 76 is really cool. The Days of 76 is like 2-in-1. On the upper floors, they do the history of like roping, ranching, kind of cowboy stuff. And then in the downstairs, they've got these historic conveyances. So everything from like covered wagons to coaches to stagecoach trains. They had a Landau carriage, so that was pretty awesome. I got to do a little family history stuff there. So the cemetery, you can actually go to the cemetery where Calamity Jane and Wild Bill and Seth Bullock are buried. And then on the Sunday, they're actually doing a steer roping competition all weekend, but it's on Sunday because it is a good slot where it doesn't really conflict too bad with gaming. We're going to head on over and watch some steer roping Sunday afternoon. So it's kind of fun stuff that is included with your badge. We've also been, so for those of you who are worried about not having transportation, I know a bunch of you are kind of like coming from Denver and driving up, but there's at least, I think, 30 to 50 of you that are coming that are flying in from out of state. So if you haven't been able to get a car or conveyance, we've got a company for you that does transportation to and from the airport. It's on the third page of our brochure. It's called Rapid Shuttle. If you guys get 3 or more people, it's $35 per person. So it's definitely a cheaper way to go. If you want to coordinate that, again, the Facebook group, Savage Cruise, Savage Expedition Facebook group, the pinned thread on there is the Rapid Shuttle Deadwood thread, so that you guys can say, hey, I'm coming in on Wednesday or I'm coming in on Thursday. Let's meet up and, we'll share the Rapid Shuttle. That's a good way to save some money on that.
I would also tell everyone, I'd highly recommend, based on the Tombstone trip, for people to come in on Wednesday, because that way you will already be there with us and hang out, and then we can plan the Thursday excursions. I just think that was one of the coolest things about Tombstone, was going around to everything. So if you're thinking about Thursday to Monday, maybe do Wednesday to Sunday if you can, would be my suggestion.
Absolutely. And for those of you who don't have transportation in town, Deadwood's very walkable. So all of the stuff that we're going to be doing is kind of very near to our hotel, so it's very easy to walk around. But we also are going to have a booklet for you that get trolley rides in town. There's like 2 trolleys that kind of circle around town, and they run for most of the hours that you'll need them. It's like $1 per ride, but we'll have a booklet for you that'll give you that'll be free for you. So you can use your vouchers in the booklet to get free trolley rides to and from the museums, like the Adams Museum or the Days of 76 Museum and stuff like that, which are also along the way to the other stuff that we're doing. Like I would say Days of
76 is probably not walkable.
Yeah, that one's a little bit of a hike. And then the one place the trolley doesn't go is the cemetery. So if you want to do a cemetery trip, find someone with a car. Some of you adventurous people, because I know we have like some ultra marathoners and people who are actually not fat middle-aged dudes. The reason cemetery is not as walkable is it's kind of all uphill from where we're going. And then once you get there, it's not too much of a walk to see like Calamity Jane and Wild Bill's grave. But if you want to go to Seth Bullock's, he's even further up the hill because he gets to get the view of the whole valley. So that's probably another 20-minute hike. So yeah, we got our steps in that day when Fox and I went to see it.
Yes, we did.
So yeah, that one's it's more the time thing to kind of walk over there. So that one's probably more of a like take a car. But other than that, if you get your the booklets, will give you stamped at the locations. You can turn those in at the Deadwood Information Center, which is the old train station right in the middle of town, and they'll give you either like a chocolate bar or a commemorative deck of cards. So you can actually get some cool stuff from the Deadwood Chamber of Commerce. And then, our schedule is pretty cool. We got Thursday. So Wednesday's very informal. We'll be out there Wednesday. If you're there Wednesday, find us at the hotel or give us a call. My number is on there on the information sheet. So we'll be in Wednesday. You're welcome to come out Wednesday, like David said. But we just put together a schedule of suggested things to do. So Thursday, kind of check in at 3 p.m. It's like hotel check-in for those of you who are getting in on Thursday. They're doing a shootout right in front of our hotel. Then we're going to head to dinner. And then dinner, there's either two events. If you got young kids, you can head to the History Family Fun Night in Outlaw Square where they're doing younger kid-focused stuff. If you want to take in the Murder of Wild Bill, that's for free inside Saloon 10. So you can check out the Murder of Wild Bill. And then a group of 25 of us are going to head off to the Trial of Jack McCall. So if you haven't booked your tour yet, get your tickets and then just email me. It's on the brochure saying, hey, we got 3 of us. We want to go to the Trial of Jack McCall with you guys and reserve your space. Those are filling up fast, so that's a good reason to get your tickets now. And then later that night, we're going to do the Bullock Hotel Ghost Tour, which is pretty interesting. Like the hotel claims that Seth Bullock is still haunting the hotel. And it's also kind of a cool way. They take you to parts of the hotel that show you the old foundation and some of the parts you can't see because of, the 100+ years of buildup. So on Friday morning, we've got 3 different tours. I think that's like every half an hour. It's like 8:30, 9:30 that are going to go through the gold mine. And this is going to be cool special for us. They usually do only one of these a day, but for us, we're going to be able to get this because we're in a group. You get little electronic candles, and you'll be able to experience what mining was like the way the miners got to experience it. They really only had their candles with them. So that's going to be a creepy and less light tour of a original gold mine, which is pretty cool.
It's going to be amazing.
Right, so then we're going to do the welcome. So just going to welcome everybody to the experience. We're going to run off. There's going to be some fun during that opening, so do come for Friday. Then we're going to run off and do our group photo. The Doomtown events start up. So anybody who's new to Doomtown events, which are official gaming session, will be Friday afternoon.
Yeah, and to clarify on that Greenhorn shooting range, that's not a tournament. So, everyone can feel free to hop in and out at any time.
And then the trader variant, like David mentioned before, kind of super thematic for the betrayal of Jack McCall of Wild Bill. That sounds amazing. On kind of the plan for there, and so we'll have another dinner. We'll do appetizers on us, and then another gaming session Friday night. And then Saturday, much more the same. Saturday is going to be kind of the big, let's play a bunch of games on Saturday. So we've got morning, afternoon, and evening slots for both the Doomtown and Savage Worlds events. And then Sunday, again, we'll still have access to our gaming space, so we'll allow game masters to submit games and people to sign up. But we're not going to kind of do the official gaming slots. We know if we make an official gaming slot, some of you diehards will just play every slot. But so Sunday is going to be a little bit more free form if you guys want to go and finish checking out the historical stuff around town. For those of you leaving on Sunday, the hotel checkout's at 11. We'll do a little closing roundup at noon, and then some of us are going to head off to the Badlands steer roping. But we'll still have our space all day, so you're welcome to continue gaming through Sunday. And the information on when the museums are open is all on here. If you have any problems on site or beforehand, here's my personal number. Here's the hotel we're staying at, Holiday Inn Express. And if you give them a call, I think they still have a couple rooms available under our room block. You're not obligated to stay at the gaming hotel. You can get your rooms anywhere in Deadwood at any hotel. There all are also like RV and other camping options, whether it's actual camping or RV camping. There's some really great options all in Deadwood because it's definitely a kind of a AAA American on the road destination. So they've got a bunch of places like that. If you want to book a room, again, we're at the Holiday Inn Express, but all the gaming will take place at the Mystic and Savoy. Here's the information for that hotel if you want to stay there. And you can see on our map, like a bunch of the stuff's really close. So on our map, the Holiday Inn Express is right here. It's very central. And the stuff, the other things are really close. Like we've got some events at the Maverick Steakhouse. That's literally just across the street. Down here to Outlaw Square is kind of where we're doing our group photo, and that's where the concert will be on Wednesday night. One of the hotels is like right there. So the original Saloon 10, we're gonna have. That's where the Trial of Jack McCall is. Like right next door is the theater. The updated Saloon 10. So there's actually two Saloon 10s. The one that we're going to go see the Murder of Wild Bill at is literally right next door to our hotel, like the adjoining building right next door. And then the historic Bullock Hotel, where we're going to be doing the ghost tour, is just down the street. So, a small walk. And then...
While we're looking at that map, a couple of the logistics things on Lee Street, you can see that parking ramp listed there. If you book with the Holiday Inn Express and you're driving in, parking is included with the Holiday Inn Express. Not every hotel has parking. There's some paid parking, that kind of thing all over. What's nice is the Holiday Inn Express gives you that paid parking for the weekend, so you can stash your car in covered parking right there on Lee Street, which is helpful. Also, the Holiday Inn Express does have breakfast from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., so you can get all the coffee that you need to get yourself going for gaming and recovering from the night before.
That's right.
And the last bit of goodies on our brochure. Again, the Rapid Shuttle is one good way of getting from the airport to Deadwood. If you want to spend a little bit more money and you got a little bit more time, there are adventure tours that leave out of Rapid City that'll take you to go see the monuments. So you can go and see was it the Crazy Horse Monument and then Mount Rushmore, which are just kind of outside of Deadwood. You can see those on the way into Deadwood. So if you want to go see those as part of your tour, you don't have a car, you can definitely, there are some tour companies. Just email me and I'll get you the information for those, or you can Google them. And then the other cool thing we just have on here is these are all of the free kind of shootout events that are fun, that are around town that you can take in while you're there. So it's everything from they do a card games for kids. They do an examination of like the pre-1900 firearms. You get to see like all the cool guns of the Old West. Obviously, the daily murder of Wild Bill goes off multiple times a day. There's some other famous shootouts that go around town. And we put those on there for convenience. So if you're anywhere or walking around, taking in the sights and sounds, you can check out these cool interactive performances these guys put on. That they're pretty exciting. So anything else you guys want to add, man?
Some of the other things that we're gonna sneak into the schedule when we can. Of course, we're gonna try to bring our setup here for doing some of the podcasts, doing some of the live casts, the video streams. We got some good broadband there at the hotel, so we're gonna have a little corner in that ballroom that we're going to be doing this kind of stuff. So we want to make this interactive for those of you who, may not be there with us. We want to show you what's going on, what's happening. There's going to be some big announcements that happen during the course of the weekend of all kinds of things. So keep, if you can't go, let everyone know that, hey, we're going to be doing some amazing stuff from there. So watch the Twitch stream, watch everything else. We're going to be coordinating a lot. And also, after that, those evening game slots at 11, I plan on doing some fun stuff in those ballrooms, into midnight, 1 in the morning. There may be dancing involved, and have a good time.
Yeah. So, where will game times be and when will it go live? So for those of you who are signed up, we want to get everybody in as soon as possible for the end of this week. And then next week, we are opening up game assignments. We're going to use tabletop events. And so if you have a game you want to run, we're going to take those submissions and then signups will be open. That's coming out presently. It'll be on tabletop events. Everybody who signed up will email you guys. So you get first crack at being able to submit your games. So use our brochure to kind of plan your game slots for those game masters out there. And
this is super secret right now. The tabletop event site is probably going to be hidden public view for the first week or two while we're getting the events going. But all of you will have access to it before the general public will see the tabletop event site. Yes.
So if you want to sign up for Doomtown or sign up for games, those of you who already have badges, you'll be able to get in on those. Mm-hmm. And then one more thing. There is one event. It is the NDA, Non-Disclosure Agreement Q&A, NDA Q&A. Shane's got something really special lined up. We're still working out some of the details on how we can do a little virtual kind of presentation, but there's something so secretive, a big announcement that we're not going to live stream it, and you can't have cameras, no cell phones.
Forever in the making.
Right? But it'll be awesome if we can pull it off. There's something really cool going on, and I can't say
worth the cost of admission.
Mm-hmm. Right?
A long time coming, getting what it deserves.
Right, exactly. See, everyone who knows, it's really exciting, and we're not going to spoil it. It's definitely going to be something special for this trip, and obviously the Doomtown folks are doing some special cards. Right now, we're getting some stuff priced out. One of the cool pieces of swag we're getting is it's a piece of art we know you love that is super endemic, significant. But anyway, it's an awesome piece of art. It really hasn't been offered in years and years and years, and we're going to have a special version just for people who show up here, not available for purchase outside of this, that you guys are going to get to go home with. I know I made a pilgrimage and got my picture in front of it with Shane a couple years back. So it's cool stuff. That's going to be one of the things you guys get to take home. But other than that, some really cool swag. We're actually setting out to get those done now. And so we're not going to tell you all the things you can come, but there's definitely accoutrements you'll be able to take home to commemorate 25 years of Deadlands, the awesomeness that is Doomtown, and just getting to hang out with us. We know that a lot of you don't have the luxury of all the Savage Worlds conventions and Doomtown events in your neighborhoods. So for those of you who this is going to be your opportunity to play some Deadlands in Doomtown, or run it. This is for you guys. This is really what we want. We want to bring kind of the success we've had with the Rocky Mountain Savages and our events to, nationwide kind of deal. So that's kind of why we're doing this. The Laps have been putting on amazing events at the big conventions, year after year. Those are always...
We will not be, we will not be at Gen Con or Origins this year. We will be at PAX Unplugged, and that's it. So this is our big Marshall badge event. We have 2 online and 2 in person. So this will be it with PAX Unplugged, just because of the pandemic and everything.
So that's very similar thing. Like PEG isn't also not going to be going and making a big splash. Some of the bigger conventions. So because we can't see you there, and we're doing this because we have a little more control over this. This is definitely more thematic for us. We're not going to be fighting for attention amongst D&D and Pathfinder and all the other kind of craziness that is Origins and Gen Con. This is just for you guys.
It's Pathfinder.
Right. Well, we have assumed Pathfinder now.
I'm being leered at. He's now leering at you. He's completely leering at
We
you.
want the Pathfinder. Yes.
We do Pathfinder for Savage Worlds. Yes, Scorch. And that's the other thing too is this isn't just Doomtown, isn't just Deadlands. All Savage Worlds games are welcome.
I actually might run a Pathfinder game.
Right, there will be Savage Pathfinder guaranteed, and Pathfinder for Savage Worlds, RTM, all those good things. But so it really, it's a celebration. Like we haven't been able to see you guys in more than a year. We miss you. And for those of you who haven't been able to just sit down and meet Shane and Jody and Clint and the crew in person, they're all wonderful people. I mean, even Christine, she's fantastic in person.
I'm 50-50 on going. It depends on if the dog is stable enough. I want to. I love Deadwood. We've been there. Amazing place. I really want to go. And Chelsea keeps telling me how disappointed she is in me because she wants me to go so bad.
If you and Chelsea meet at Deadwood, there will be a collapsing of universes around. I mean,
if anyone's been watching Loki, it's gonna like the red line.
Yeah, yes. Everybody needs to keep their fingers crossed.
So yeah, we hope the dog it has a wonderful advancement in mental and physical health.
I hope so because I want to go. So much stuff was closed the last time we were there, and also I want to say, Holiday Inn Express is my favorite place ever because they have Cinnabon in the mornings and they have Bath and Body Works in their bathrooms.
Yes,
like White Lotus, legit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So 50-50 on Christine, but David, he's cool too. He's all
right. He's a ginger. He's left-handed. He has some issues.
There's some comments in the chat about getting a picture with Scorch back here. Yeah,
it's Scorch, not Dustin's Goblin. It's on loan.
It's on loan. So, but it will be coming up in the truck. I will put it in a, awesome. It'll be in the back seat with a, I'll put the seatbelt on it. It'll come up safe. And I'm actually hoping people try to look, in the back window of the truck and see the Goblin on the way up. Yes, we will be bringing the Goblin up. So, yes, picture opportunities.
Scorch lives. Scorch was a gift from a fan for all the Scorchness that we brought to the Savage Pathfinder Kickstarter. And, by fan, I mean myself. I bought it for myself. And just saying, if people don't buy you flowers, you can buy yourself flowers. I'm just putting that out there.
Totally.
And so the labs are wonderful people. We had fun meeting at last Gen Con, and David always has a little a ring of groupies around playing Doomtown. It is a loved game, and it's just not fair that it's like they have this great new edition, and then we don't have all the big conventions to be like, behold the newness we have elsewhere in Gen.
That's why we figured this would be the good year to do the base set. We've actually been working on it since April of last year. After Tombstone, we thought it would be a good idea. And then COVID happened. So it's kind of like, well, all the stuff's on hold. So Doomtown Online. I completely forgot that. If you're not at Deadwood, the Doomtown Online is launching that weekend too. And it'll be free until the Kickstarter finishes and goes up and running, because there's going to be a digital backer level on that. So we have it free so people can check out, in the meantime. So that'll be going on as well. And we're trying to make it so it's going to be all the new stuff, so you can see all of it ahead of time.
So, lots of good stuff, guys. I know Fox has everything Doomtown, so he's like, I want first dibs on these new cards. I'm like, you got to wait in line, buddy. Wait in line. Paid customers first.
But the bad thing is I haven't played very much, so I'm actually looking forward to the Greenhorn.
Yeah, that's what we'll be there for. David Orange is our main demo guy. He will be there. Myself and Richard Carter, who's the designer. He designed the new base set, so it'll be
gaming with the designer. That's always a fun thing.
Yeah.
To do.
Oh yeah.
Actually, I don't have confirmation yet. But the David Hammond, who did the Swearingen art for that Welcome to Deadwood, I'm trying to get him to come out and sign cards.
No peer pressure on a live stream Twitch stream. Come out.
I'm trying to get him because you guys will see it tomorrow. He also did the Bass Reeves cover art for the base set. So that'll be coming up. He also did the cover for Hell's Coming With Me. And he plays the game. He's a marshal himself. He won Gen Con the year before I did.
This is my life.
So yeah, we're hoping to get a lot of the Doomtown guys. I know we're worried with the pandemic and where we were at. So I'm hoping that everyone can get vaccines, everyone's settled, and we can get like a last ditch surge going of like the guys we had for Tombstone.
I have a reserve of obnoxious I need to let out at conventions.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Right, and that's why if you and Chelsea make it, I mean, if you can't come to this one, it'll definitely be the cruise, and then it'll be much more alcohol fueled then, because you can't not do boat drinks. But I mean, seriously, right now, John Goff is pinging me about a certain night train game he might be doing for Deadwood. So can't guarantee it. Can't just he's got some stuff that might be. But anyways.
That'd be pretty cool.
Literally right now, he's like, "Hey, what size table in? And can I do 2 slots? Can I do 2 sessions? What do we got?" So, I mean,
if we can, no pressure on him. But we statted Jonah's posse that the Doomtown characters will be doing on. So if we could give them to Goth as player characters to.
That would be awesome.
I'm going to make that connection happen right now.
We'll have the character sheet, so if people want to play the Doomtown characters, that was the whole idea of trying to get them in Savage Saturday Night to play the main event, and then if you haven't played Deadlands, go play these Doomtown characters that you've been flipping on cardboard all day into the role-playing game.
Yeah, take a break, card players.
Yeah, some of them
they don't even understand. They just go.
That's why
they don't stop.
That's why Orange is going to be doing his call out. I'm going to be playing Deadlands, so I will be breaking from that for that night.
So I mean, and this is the kind of stuff that only happens when we can all get each other together in the same room. Right. Yep. And the Peg family is a big family. It is international. It is all over the country. I mean, we don't do Gen Con as a group. So these events are how that happens. So if you want, the Laps and the Goffs at the same table with the Hensleys and the Blacks looking on, and then the Hatchets and Landauers and the Foxes overdoing crazy shenanigans, this is how this happens, guys. Like, it happens at events like this. We're looking forward to it. So the last link, I'll give you guys a link for your badges one last time in the chat. The pick up the badge. It's $187.60 to commemorate the 1876 founding of Deadwood. And you get gaming and food and adventure with that. Grab a badge, and then this in the coming days, you guys are going to be able to get and swag, right? Swag, all the swag. The kind of don't want to tell you what the best swag is, but there's definitely some fun swag you can drink out of.
It'd be a truckload of swag that we're driving up from Denver.
Yes, there will be.
The Doomtown Tough alone is there's a current large box.
Yeah, we always just bring an extra suitcase.
I'm using Dustin as my mule, and I'm just shipping stuff out to him.
I've opted up my car for extra
I'm
room.
privileged to have packs on the side, and I can mule.
Yeah, that's my plan. I still have to contact Jim from Studio 2 and just be like, hey, can you mail stuff to Dustin so I don't have to try to pack the convention?
Yep.
I still have the convention stuff for things that never happened here in a closet, but I'm like, that's really hard to get all on a plane.
we did the same thing.
One walk-in closet.
We did the banner for the cruise last year. We got that on a plane, and trying to get it home, it went from a nice tube to we got to origami this into a suitcase, and it's. People don't realize the struggle of being in the showing Christine and I were helping out with Jody Was it Dragon Con or Gen Con? One of the two.
And
Gen Con, I've never been the Dragon Con. It seems too grimy. I mean, some people like it. I'm not into furries. I don't know.
All right, I'm turning my mic off.
Wow, shots fired. Shots fired.
There's some Dragon Con's got some flavor. But at Gen Con, it was amazing the amount of like paper material, like handouts that you have. And it's like they're heavy, and there's boxes of them, and like even just like the business card box weighed 16 pounds. So like if you think of it, here's 16 pounds of business cards. Here's 9 pounds of flyers. Here's 18 pounds of bookmarks with it's heavy stuff.
Yeah,
Logistics is more than a word.
Yeah, for the cruise, we actually had to have the dice last time sent to our hotel. And we picked them up when we got in New Orleans from the hotel.
These two absconded an entire suitcase for all the audio gear. And
yes, we did. Yeah.
Yes. My wife is like, we're giving up one of our suitcases, and I said, yes, we're doing it for the team.
Right, and we had Dave Weiss as our pack mule. He gave up one of his suitcases to help us. I mean, we had everybody was helping take stuff. So. It takes a lot of work to get all this stuff to these various locations, but it's so worth it.
It's glorious.
It is.
Yeah, there will be more tubes. One of the things you're getting will have to come home in a tube. So just saying, Deadwood, there'll be tubes.
So you're saying come to Deadwood?
Come to Deadwood. Yeah. So any last thoughts, guys? That come join us. It's gonna be fun. Any parting thoughts? Any last questions, comments?
Looking forward to it. I can't wait.
Yeah, so 6 weeks. That's all we got. 6 weeks out from Deadwood. So buy your badges, make your plans.
6 weeks.
6 weeks. That's it.
19th to the 22nd of August, and we're already in July 1st.
What?
So yeah, it's that close.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I ain't going.
The dog needs more than 6 weeks of things. So we'll see you on the cruise. So the Chelsea Christine meeting will have to wait for Belize.
We're going to be outside. We're going to be in an international waters meeting.
It's good.
Totally appropriate.
I was hoping to let off some of that steam at Deadwood, but you and Chelsea getting together on the ship, it may sink.
Too much awesomeness in too little of a space.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking forward to you guys joining us. These are a lot of fun. It turns out that like Shane and Jody and Simon are actually cool people. And you'll get to meet them in person. So
they put up with us.
I don't know why.
I got hired somehow.
Right? They even throw money at us. It's crazy.
What?
If anybody has other Doomtown questions, if you go to pineboxentertainment.com, if you just go to the forums in the general, there is a page of all our social media stuff. So the Doomtown Discord is probably the easiest way. We're on there all the time. So.
Yeah, and with that, we've been more than an hour. Thanks, guys, for joining us, for listening, for taking all your questions. Grab your badges, join us in Deadwood this August. It's really close, and then for the cruise at the beginning of next year, we're going to Belize. So with that, thanks for being a part of the family. Thanks for hanging out with us, cool folks, or you're cool folks. Whatever you want to do, it's going to be fun. There's going to be Nerf guns and food and concerts and like steer riding and kettle roping and like it's cool stuff. So come join us. Take it easy, guys.
All right, thanks, guys.